Welcome to the EarthX TV stage here at EarthX 2025. I am Dylan Welch, your host, and we are joined by an amazing guest, Dr. Sharita Humphrey, the CEO of EcoPower Source Incorporated. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Dylan.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm enjoying the conference.
We're here on Earth Day.
I know.
It's kind of coming full circle.
I know.
So tell us.
We got the most exciting
Right?
part to do it on the
best
Earth
day
Day.
ever. So tell us a little bit about EcoPower Source. How did that kind of come about and get started?
So EcoPower Source was my brainchild after working very closely with the former mayor of the city of Prairie View. A lot of people may not know where the city of Prairie View is. It's about 45 minutes north of Houston, Texas. And so getting that opportunity, really be able to work with more of a rural community was definitely something different because I'm from Houston. I'm originally a Houston native. So really being able to see what the big gaps were. What are some of the challenges they're having when they're talking about economic growth? Why is a city who's been there since 1869 and was incorporated in 1959 still at less than 10,000 residents? And one of the reasons why it's a digital desert. So a lot of people don't know that they're currently on 2G. I know, Dylan.
Whoa. What is it, the 90s?
I know. You got mail. So that's one of the things. But but they did see some type of growth. In the late 90s, they were on 1G. So they're now at 2G. So it's 100% if we really start to think about it. And so when I talked to the mayor, worked with the Economic Development Corporation and the City Council, and even Prairie View A&M University, historically well-known college there in the county, I just said, how can we fix this problem? How can we go and really create some type of economic growth there? And so that was the passion behind. The people wanted it, but of course with those digital challenges, most big companies and mid-sized companies are not going to move there. They're not going to be able to retain the student talent that they have because there's no industry there. So one of the things is that I made a big promise to the former mayor and the city council that if I ever got the opportunity to be able to figure out how to help them with this digital divide, I would come back and do that. And so I got the opportunity to work with my business partner, and he built smart cities. And so he's done this across the globe from the East Coast to Nepal. And so I said, hey, you're from Houston. I'm from Houston. You're from Austin. You have to pass through Prairie View to get to Austin. So let's figure out how to bring this closer to home. And so one of the things is he said, okay, let me take a look at it. He wasn't familiar with the city of Prairie View. So he said, okay, let me take a look. Came back and said, you know what? We got to tell more of a story here if we really want to create some type of economic growth in a really big way. And so he said, let me go back. Let's really see what's really out there. Got a surprise for you all when he called me late at night and he said, how did you know? And I'm like, no, what? I said, I told you it was a digital divide. He said, no, how did you know that the city of Prairie View is one of the hottest geothermal spots in the state? And so I said, I didn't know. I said, it was just a brainchild of mine and a promise that I'm hoping that I can keep to the mayor because my mom said if you broken promises are not allowed in her house. So I said, okay, let's figure this out. We put those two things together, had a great advisory team in place. And so we decided to name the project the GeoEcoHub, close the digital divide by building 2 level 4 data centers, military-grade data centers, powered by geothermal. Because we wanted to make sure that one of the things that we did is to continue to lower the energy costs in that rural town, but we also knew that it would attract big business. It will attract and get people excited, and that's exactly what happened. When we started sharing this opportunity and letting people know about the GeoEcoHub, they were saying, so you guys did the two things that were this far away and you brought them together, marrying the data and empowering about geothermal. That is something that was not thought, it was not something that was being done. And so this is when we start to really tap in, and because I had the relationships with a lot of the people there, letting them know, boots on the ground, going back boots on the ground and letting them know that we're putting this brainchild and this project together and that we need their support.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations
Yes.
on
you.
all that coming together. What is your kind of background? How did you start working with the mayor and build all these connections?
And so one of the great things about this is that I come from a government background, so I'm a former government auditor and analyst. So I'm in finance. So this is definitely not my background. So when people ask me at EarthX, they're like, you came up with this brainchild. I came to work with the city because I had the idea. I've seen business from your mom and pops all the way to your global business. So really helping the city and giving them ideas and recommendations. Our company actually won the city contract to help them when the pandemic started, to help keep their businesses open at least 90 to 120 days after they received a 4B grant from the state of Texas. Who knew that I would end up here at EarthX talking about this project from something that I was really doing to be able to help small businesses in that area keep their doors open?
That's amazing. So did your background working with the government kind of help you navigate the red tape and everything to get this up and running?
I think so. The reason why is because one of the things that I think that the government does well is it teaches us to be forward thinkers. A lot of us are already thinking about it, but when you're talking about analyzing things, and auditing things, we're already forward thinking. We're rabbit hole people, okay? We like going down the rabbit hole, okay? So I guess this project just makes sense because it's heat under our feet. Yeah. So going there and figuring this out, and really positioning it to understand and bring in my background and where I didn't have that expertise, partnering with my business partner who builds smart cities. So he builds smart cities and that are on 6 to 9G overseas. So why can't we do something like this with a city that's a digital disparity and try to make them one of the smartest cities and connect the dots and let them know that they could be a true support for more metropolitan cities like Houston, and that we can create a blueprint that could be used across this country.
Wow. So is this currently built and up and
running?
So
we are now we are finally, I know I shared with you, I lost my mom last year, so I had to take a much needed break. She lost her battle to cancer. So I am now still in her fight because I told her I was going to make sure that this project comes to life. So we have put all the things together. We make sure we have the political support, the people support, but most importantly now we're meeting with investors. I had the opportunity to be able to meet with an investor right before a couple of weeks before my mom's birthday and right before Thanksgiving, and they were aligned with this project, but because of the political climate, I just wanted to make sure we kept as much of our investment dollars stateside, on domestic side, and so I walked away from $50 million investment 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And so we have other investors now at the table, thanks to my advisory team, and we're really looking forward to this. And once we get the reports done, we'll be able to start this project within 2 weeks. The great thing about this, Dylan, is that a company heard about this project in LA, right, and right near you, and they used some of their SBIR money to be able to check the preliminary technology to go along with the feasibility study to help strengthen the feasibility study. So they were able to figure out from a technology side that this would save about 1.5 million lives in Waller County and Harris County and create a surplus of $1.9 billion over the next 10 to 15 years, this particular project. So this is a true impact of data, yes, geothermal, but we understand how important the social impact portion of this. And lastly, it will create 50,000 new jobs in the area.
Wow. So, well, first off, sorry to hear about your mother, and
Thank you.
It's very admirable that you're able to kind of use that as motivation, as you were kind of telling me, to keep this up and running. What effects do you kind of project and expect to see as it all comes together? I know you mentioned the 50,000 jobs, but
yes.
Are you planning on then scaling it and bringing it to other places, or continuing that process, or focusing on one city, or all of that at the same time?
So we definitely want to make sure, if like anything, you want to make sure that you do it and house it where it's from. We like to do everything big in Texas, so we definitely want to make sure that we have the blueprint that we can share with others. So this is not just something that we want to keep Texas-based. We want to support other rural areas, and we have already identified 7 other rural cities. And great, thanks to EarthX, we were able to connect with 2 of those cities, and literally in the last 24 hours.
I'm sure you can find a lot of little places that are like, we want that upgrade as well.
Yes, we want that upgrade. So yes, it's been great being here at the conference and really being able to work with my advisors here, my business partners flying in, and really being able to allow this conference to be able to help us to connect the dots to the cities that I have in my office, that we have that's on our, what we say, our planet wish list.
Yeah. What else is on that wish list? Let's hear it.
The next thing is I definitely want to make sure that I can bring more people from those rural areas, and I would love to be able to bring some of those students that we're working with from the universities to EarthX next year. So that's one of the big things that's on my immediate list, because there are our future leaders. The reason why a lot of that workforce is 50,000, because a large percent of that will come from our student work. So we are partnering with these colleges, Texas A&M, Prairie View A&M, and University of Houston, but we also understand that all of our future leaders are not going to go to college. So we want to make sure that we focus on trades as well, because a project like this needs HVAC, we need carpentry, we need all of those key skills, but we're also going to work with the Texas Workforce Commission to skill and reskill those who feel like they've aged out or they're looking for a career change.
So once this is built in these rural towns, what is sort of the immediate local effect that it will have on the neighbors and the people living there?
Oh, the immediate effect is just the community. Because bringing people together and allowing them to be able to be a part of this, and one of the things that makes this project different is that even though I have a team of advisors and I have some amazing experts with over almost 50 years of experience, not to age anyone, but that experience, the people will be able to be involved and see the strategic planning of this. They'll be able to come in and put their names in things and be able to say that I was a part of this, because we don't want rural areas to feel like they're voiceless in this. This is their project, and they are the ones who are going to leave this. This is the blueprint that we're handing off, not only to the people who make decisions for that city or that county, but also for the people to be able to spearhead this, because we want them to know that you're going to lead this. And we want to be able to let them know from this small town that you helped to duplicate a project that can now go national, to be able to help to connect those dots to other rural areas and really help them to understand and be the support of metropolitan cities.
Is it possible to scale it and bring it to other places even if they don't have the same geothermal numbers?
Because let's just be honest, that digital divide is across the country. So even if we just help them to be able to get up to capacity of being able to be on the 5G, but just introducing them and letting them know that there's a possibility for you to be an industry leader, because there's not 6G in the U.S., but we can do this from a rural area component. So yes, there's a lot of opportunities that can come from this. That's not just jobs or economic growth. I think just being able to allow them to be able to see their city grow. There's almost like when you're building that house, you're waiting, you're excited, you know there's going to be some delays, there's going to be some changes that's going to happen, but at the end of it all, I've made something that belongs to me, and I've been a part of it from start to finish.
That's amazing. Dr. Humphrey, thank you so much. Time goes by so fast, unfortunately. We'd love to chat more, but thank you for tuning in to EarthX TV, and thank you all for hanging out and watching.
Yes,
Let's give it up for Dr. Humphrey.
Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions?